Hey friends, today we are going to make our cards pop with a really great technique that I think you are going to love. Let's take a look at it. Here you can see my card front, which I've been working on. This is going to be the base for our card. And I created this with the Nature's Frame stamp set. I just love this really large stamp. So I stamped it, I started coloring. I wanted to finish coloring it with you and then show you the technique that we are actually looking at today. So I stamped this image with my early espresso ink and I'm coloring it in with my blends markers. This is my Peaceful Pine color. I have my light and my dark, of course. Some of these leaves that I'm coloring in, I am just leaving all light. And some of them, most of them, I am adding a bit of the darker. And so I just added a darker streak right there through the middle of that leaf. As it blends and dries, it will blend as it dries. Takes a little bit for it to dry and blend fully, but we'll do these last few leaves. I just wanted you to see how I do some of my blending. So that was the lighter color. Now for this one, I'll just color most of that lower leaf. And again, as it dries, it is going to blend the colors together. So I've already colored the berries. I colored them with Highland Heather. I love to stamp and color on top of crumb cake cardstock, as you can see here. Typically, I will choose white. I know many of us will choose white automatically, but I do love the look of using the crumb cake just for that little bit darker effect, a little bit more natural looking, I guess, natural tones. So we will let that dry. And here is where we are getting into our technique for today, which I'm pretty excited about. We are going to do a bit of cutting just with a craft knife. Now, I use the attachment for my Take Your Pick tool. This is probably my absolute favorite tool that is not very expensive at all, but it has all kinds of functions. And this is one of the crafter's tips. The set comes with 3 tips, a pick tool, a perforating blade, and this craft knife, which is really nice. And we're going to use this in a couple of different ways. I have some chipboard here. I save these out of my paper packs and use them for various purposes. But the first thing I'm going to do is actually cut the center of this out. Do you ever want to remove a piece from a paper and you're not quite sure how to do that? You can't really get in there with scissors. You might be able to, you actually could do this with a trimmer, but I want to show you how you can do this with a blade and a ruler so that you can do it on other projects as well. So I am just using this ruler. It's got a metal edge to keep me from cutting into the ruler itself. And I'm lining it up near, but not on top of that line, the brown line for that rectangle in the middle. And it's not perfectly straight. So this is definitely not going to be perfectly straight with that line, but I just want it to be nearby with a little bit of that crumb cake border inside. And this is a great way. There's a lot of times I think we might cut something out if we had a better way, if we knew how to. And this is just a fun way you can remove some of that paper, do something a little bit different if you want to get creative. So we'll remove this last piece right here. And then I want to show you the other way we are going to use this craft knife, which is a little bit more exciting in my opinion. So we'll see if I got all those corners cut out. And this one, I'm close, but not all the way. So let's get that cut. So we have that removed. I wanted to do that so that I could stamp my greeting down through that and then pop this piece up. And let's look at the other way I want to use this. I said we were going to make our cards pop, and this is how. We are going to make them pop by cutting some pieces that we can pop out from our card. And these I will not be cutting fully out. I'm just cutting the tips of these leaves so that I can fold them out and pop them out slightly. So let's see if we got that cut well enough for it to pop. The little corners must not be cut all the way. But I think this is going to create a really beautiful effect, and I'm excited for you to get to see it here in just a moment. So we'll cut along the edge of the sleeve. There we go. So here we have one started, and I already see that they're going to want to bend. So this is a really great way when you want paper to curl instead of bend, to use your bone folder. And are you able to see that popping up here? So let's do a couple more of those, and then we will put this on that card base and see what our completed card looks like. So I'll spread out around this card a little bit where these pieces are that are going to be popping out. So there we got one. Let's do this leaf here. I want to focus on the ones that I don't want any of the leaves that are running off the edge of the paper, or at least I don't want the pointed end, the tip. I don't want that part to be going off the edge of the paper. Do that one. Let's do this one. I like to use a lot of different techniques to create dimension on my cards. I know you do as well. So this is a fun way that I have never done this before. I do not believe. If you remember some of my if you remember a tutorial where I've done this, you'll have to remind me, because at the moment I am not remembering that I have ever done this before. So we'll pop that one up, and let's do one right down here. And then I think we may do one more, but we are nearing where I think this will be nice, to where they're spread out enough around the card. And I'm looking at one right up in here. Let's do this one right here. So of course you don't really want to cut out to the edge of your card. That would cut the piece off entirely with these leaves. Okay, let's bring in what I've prepared for the card base. So I wanted my card base to be early espresso and for that border to show around the edge, but I also wanted to be able to stamp through here with the greeting. So I have my early espresso ink, Thinking of You stamp. I pulled these stamps in from the Framed All Around stamp set. This has some really nice greetings. I really like this one for the inside. May all the love and support that surrounds you help heal your heart. I don't know about you, but Thinking of You cards are some of the ones I make the most often. And I really like to have some of those nice greetings for the inside especially. So we'll stamp that. Now I did want to pop this up. That was part of the purpose of putting this underneath. And I also think this is also going to help our pieces that we cut and bend outward, make them show even more. So we want to get a nice frame of dimensionals around that opening. And then prop up the rest of it, of course. I would love to know. So I do give away each week, and to get entered, all you have to do is comment on my video. I would love to know this. If you need an idea for what to comment, tell me, are you a dimensional overuser or underuser? I know we have people who use crazy amounts of these foam dimensionals, and that's cool. It will not move if you use lots of them, and it will stay popped up, and it will stay sturdy, and it's going to look amazing forever. We also have dimensional minimalists who use just kind of the bare minimum, and I probably fall more towards the minimum than I do the overuser, but I would love to know if you use more or less of the dimensionals. Okay, we'll curl these up a little bit. Did I get all of them? I feel like I missed one. I think that's all this one is. Okay, so let's look at this up close, and I'll have to tilt it sideways for you to be able to see all of these. But hopefully you can get a little bit of a view of what that looks like. Just a fun little technique you can try on your cards. Isn't this card? It was so easy to create this. I just had to come up with a use for this Nature's Frame stamp set. I thought you would enjoy seeing this. So thanks so much for watching along. For our moment of encouragement today, I just want to mention that miracles happen every day, my friend. We know this, right? I wish they would fill the news and I wish they would fill social media with stories of miracles because, I mean, that would make our world a better place, right? Friends, if you need some encouragement, if you want to hear some good miracle stories, there's a book called Seeing the Supernatural by Lee Strobel. He's written some fantastic books doing real research into the Case for Christ is one of his books, The Case for Faith. I think he has one called The Case for Heaven. He's got a whole bunch. But Seeing the Supernatural has some amazing stories of like a man raised from the dead after he was already declared dead. They were ready to take him to the morgue. And the doctor felt compelled to pray for this man. And she like tried to push aside this, like, he's dead. Let's move on with our day. We got stuff to do. Felt like she was supposed to pray for him. She prayed for him. They shocked him one more time, which normally wouldn't have done anything. And there he was, just came back to life. Like, there he is. He's good. He's fine. He's perfectly fine. Amazing stories. You got to listen to it. Listen to it or read it if you're if you want to do the old-fashioned method and actually read a book. I do love to read books, but find the audiobooks fit into my schedule a little better at times. But anyway, lots of encouraging stories in the book. Look it up, my friend. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you will be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to handmake with love.